Welcome to Candid Conversations with Doc V on the WWW Network, where real talk about real experiences and circumstances is the norm and not the exception to help you heal, rebuild, and transform your life from the inside out and put you back in business. Hi, I'm Doc V, the Pivot Maestro and your corner woman, here to provide truth and transparency in conversation to help you navigate the waters and think without a box. What is my why? You are my why and motivation to create a safe haven for you, to validate you and your experiences, and to provide hope and freedom in your thinking and being so that you may live the life and lifestyle you were meant to lead. All are welcome to the conversation with our topics running the gamut around issues women face every day in life, the workplace, career transition, and business, always providing you revelation, reconciliation, and renaissance with one mission in mind, to help you define your path and one message: you are mission essential. So believe it, ladies. Last week, our pivot was going against the grain. How many of you enjoyed that episode? I know I did, right? Hopefully it spoke to your soul and fulfilled you. And it was based on my international bestseller, Love the Skin You're In, How to Conquer Life Through Divergent Thinking. And this week, we're going to continue the conversation, but it'll be based around the 4 30-day meditations that I wrote as I was writing Love the Skin You're In, called Word of the Day for Divergent Souls. So if you're interested, pick up copies on Amazon or message us on our website, definingpaths.online, and we'll be sure to reach out and make sure you know where to get that copy. So meditations, again, Word of the Day for Divergent Souls. In the last episode, we began to scratch the surface of divergent thinking. And I get the question a lot, what is divergent thinking? But I want you to know, before I talk about it a little bit, divergent thinking will help you take back your power. So let me help you just understand the basis. Yes, it's a phrase I coined. Actually, one of my favorite trilogies or series to watch is the Divergent. So, when I watched that years ago, I had an aha moment, a light bulb going off. And, I could just so relate. I tell you, and every time that comes on, I just go in and I watch episode after episode after episode, because it truly speaks to my soul. And it helped me, as I was writing this book, to process what it was, who I was, the true me, and that there was nothing wrong with me. The fact that I could do all of these different things, or something I knew nothing about and could just pick up a skill just like that, without having to go to school for it or study it. It just spoke to me, that, and it showed me also that, we really, until we learn to come out of, realize we are socially conditioned in life, and we come out of that way of thinking and step into our freedom and empowerment, freeing our mind from that, we don't see that we have so many capabilities, and we're much more than what society tries to ascribe us to as women, as a woman of color, in my case, as whatever, right? So let's talk about what is divergent thinking. So my definition of divergent thinking, as I interpret it, and for the purpose of my teachings and how I work with my clients, it's all about the mind, or the fact that the mind doesn't conform to a certain way of thinking, or it does not commit solely to a left brain or solely to a right brain. The mind actually works in a million different ways. So there's a scientific aspect to it. There's a biological, physiological aspect to it, but also just how we process things, how we're made, So if your mind works in a million different ways, if you're good at things that are left brain capable or right brain capable, as society has ascribed those skill sets to, or, and there's basis for them being on those, that's the hemispheres that they fall under. But those who can access both halves and integrate that thinking for the million different ways that you can come up with solutions, you can problem solve. It's the ability to deal with what's in front of you. It's that, fear doesn't shut you down. So you all have probably heard about the fight or flight syndrome, right? So it's that fact that fear doesn't shut you down. You learn how to, what do I always say? Embrace it and make it your ally. Fear actually wakes you up, right? And you think above and beyond, as my companion likes to say. You think above and beyond, right? So as children, we have no concern about the world. We talked about this last week, and I just want to pick it up a little bit before we talk about the word of the day for Divergent Souls. As children, we have no concerns about the world. It is all about individuality and exploration. Yes, right? I know for me. So there's no need to set our mind right or to conquer fears. We are fearless as children, aren't we? We're fearless. We'll do anything. We'll jump from bed to bed like I used to do when I was a kid and I had bunk beds. Oh, yes. So my mother eventually took them down. And that's when I would do that. But I would try to jump off the top tier of the bunk bed. Why? I was fearless and I was being Wonder Woman, right? I was being Wonder Woman until we are taught to think inside the box and learn fearful behaviors. We are fearless. Let me say that again. Until we are taught through conditioning to think inside the box and learn fearful behaviors, we are absolutely fearless. So our personalities and aptitude then become shaped and determined by that box, ladies and gentlemen. My gentlemen who are guests here, welcome. Our personalities and aptitude then become shaped and determined by that box. I want you to think about that. As a child, there's the box, right? We're over here, we're having a good time playing. We are thinking without a box as children. But then as we grow, as we develop, as we move into educational structures, sociocultural structures, we get put into boxes. And those boxes determine our aptitude and shape who we become until we break free, until life happens. And those who can think, who are divergent thinkers or learn how to think divergently, until we meet those challenges and can break out of those boxes, right? And go back to that fearless child and think without a box, we become shaped by and live and walk in fear. Painful thought, right? But it's nothing to be shameful about. It happens to us all. Nothing to be ashamed about. It's just a matter of waking up from the cloud and understand, and then make the choice to think without the box. As that child grows, his life is made so much more difficult out of restrictive and narrow training that leads to fear. Become that child again. There's no fault here, just incorrect thinking, incorrect training by the parents. And this is why I have a chapter on the creative process, train up a child in the way they should go, right? So childhood is the perfect opportunity to foster divergent thinking in problem solving and discovery. And the more you allow that creativity, the more it becomes ingrained in that child. And the better, the greater the fighting chance to break out of the norm, right? And accept and live and walk in your individuality as an adult. So learning to think and view life and your circumstances apart from the norm is an asset. Believe it, people. Receive my words, believe it, internalize it, and ingrain that into yourself, right? So it allows you to be aware of what's inside and outside of the box, right? And gives you the choice to not choose either, right? To think without the box. It enables you to walk your own path and choose the road less traveled, which will make all the difference. You become the influencer and not the influencee. How many of us want to be an influencer, right? You know, within the Defining Past community, we're all about being legacy builders and changing the world. That requires you being an influencer, not an influencee. The conditioned mind, those who still walk in that mindset, are the influencees. Your decisions become your own. You know, remember our conversation last week that the safety of social conditioning or the plan can cause you to miss your solo. We had a theme, right? A live the jazz life. Your opportunity, it can cause you to miss your solo, which is your opportunity, and most certainly limit your potential brilliance. If you're going to be an original, folks, you cannot be a copy. If you're going to be an original, you cannot be a copy. You can choose be more than instead of fitting into either or box, right? That's divergent thinking in a nutshell from just the higher level visioning, right? So recently I was asked whether I was a girly girl or a tomboy, you know, when I was younger growing up. And my response, I wonder if you can guess what it was. My response was both. I was both a girly girl and I was a tomboy. I would climb trees. I would wrestle my cousins. I would do all of the things that girls were not supposed to do, right? But at the same time, I was raised by my mother, you know, and the women in our family to be demure with social graces. You know, I was a bit of a Southern belle. So why couldn't I be both? So think about it. Why can't you be both? Why can't you be all that you are and even more that you have yet to discover? So let's get into the word of the day for Divergent Souls. So what I did today, I took a day from each of the 4 books and I just want to talk about, I want to read them to you, share the thought, share the meditation, and I want to just expound upon that, to give you food for thought, to give you revelation so that you can think through the reconciliation piece, how it applies to your life and how you can reconcile that within your life so that you can then step into your newness with regard to that thought process, right? So word of the day is what we affectionately called it. It's all about struggling to find and maintain your individuality in society, in a society that demands conformity. It is necessary to break free from those chains of messaging about who you should be to live a more fulfilling and brilliant, vibrant life of who you were meant to be, as opposed to a socially conditioned one or a socially conditioned mind. The meditations are meant to set you on a new thought path and change in mindset. And I write in my books, you know, mind-set. I think I've shared this before. And the reason I do this is because I want to illustrate the fact and emphasize the fact that you have the ability, you have the power to literally set this thing, your mind, to what you want, to how you want to live, to what you want to achieve. You can be the captain. You are the captain. So start telling yourself that and program that subconscious, program that mind, set it to what you want to achieve. So book 1, I chose day 1. The greatest challenge is the title of this meditation. The thought, the greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest is being happy with what you find. I want you to think about that. The thought, the greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest is being happy with what you find. So the meditation. Hurt and insecure people find fault and lash out for a reason. The issues do not reside outside with others, but within themselves. Search your conscience and heart. You will hear from God or your source, whatever your whatever your source is, if you are open to his voice, the rest is up to you and no one else. So one of my favorite quotes when I think about that, and it actually opens up this book of meditations, is by Maya Angelou. If you are always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. So I want you to think about that, my dear divergent souls. Listen to the call. You know, I was guilty of this. I've shared numerous times. I wore masks all the time because I thought those masks, that's how people wanted to see me, or that would make someone happy, or it would allow me to fit in, or it would allow me to hide, right? What the proverbial mask allows you to do, it allows you to hide from you or discovering the true you. And oftentimes we don't even know we're not operating authentically as what I like to call the true you, because we're too busy with these masks and we're too busy drowning in our pain points, which are legitimate feelings, right? So don't ever let anyone tell you or minimize your pain. Your experiences are your experiences and your pain is your pain, right? It's about learning to reconcile that, acknowledging those pain points, knowing what they are, right? And subjugating them, embracing the fear and making it your ally. And most of us fear our individuality. We fear being anything but normal. But I tell you, that is a gift. That is your superpower. And that's what the amazing Maya Angelou was talking about. If you are always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. And you are amazing. You are unique as yourself. So let's talk about book 2, day 19. And all throughout the book, it's different titles, different thoughts, subjects for meditation. So it's just all about helping you to gather your thoughts and helping you to direct your mind, right, into that place where you can walk into freedom with discipline. It's about disciplining your mind, right? So if you missed those episodes, go back and watch those. So book 2, day 19, choose humanity. This is a big one. The thought. You can be a part of the problem or the solution. Let me read that again. The thought for choosing humanity. You can be a part of the problem or the solution. The meditation. Break the loop of insanity and get out of your own way. You choose problem or solution. The problem is that an unfortunate number of people choose problem intentionally or unintentionally based on their programming and desire to belong, I should say. Consider how often you witness and turn a blind eye to things that you know are wrong. Every fiber of your being is telling you this. Or worse yet, support the wrongdoing of someone you call friend. Every time you make the wrong choice, you lose a piece of your humanity, folks. Particularly kindness and benevolence to others and yourself, right? You lose the ability to give people space for grace, if you ever knew that, and yourself. You can choose to sell out the problem or continue hindering the solution and sell out your soul. Choose your humanity is calling. Choose. Your humanity is calling. And your life depends on it, right? I know that's a big and a bold statement, but it does. Look at everything that's happening in the world today. Look at things, just the conflicts that are occurring. It's because we have lost our sense of humanity, our heart center, if we ever knew it. As children, we did, until life started happening to us. So I'm asking you to choose humanity. Stop allowing life to control you and you control life. Tap back into that heart, right? Regardless of your pain, we can all let it go, right? Because this life is short, humanity is important. And once we all learn how to love the skin we're in, and that's what choosing humanity will help you do, it'll help you get there. When you choose humanity, you're choosing to accept your humanness. I went through this process, that you are fallible. We are not perfect. What's my saying? We are perfectly imperfect. Or we are perfectly perfect in our imperfection. Forgot my own saying for a second. We are perfectly imperfect, perfect in our imperfection. Choose humanity. It will help you once you accept that you are imperfect and that you're perfect in your imperfection. I cannot tell you how free you will be able to walk, how you will start to look at others, how you will start to stand up for others when people start to talk about how they're dressed or their hair or condemn them for their weight or whatever the case may be, right? Choose humanity. Okay, let's jump ahead. I don't want to stay on that soapbox. So book 3, I chose day 6. Don't hide your light under a bushel. So the thought, don't hide your light under a bushel. Simple as that. The meditation, power comes from the mind, and how you use it determines your success and affects the success of others, right? So not only yours, but the success of others. Once your mind, body, and spirit are right, move in positive action. Be resilient. Be encouraged. Be blessed. And live your life without fear. The best way to change the minds of others and bring hearts together is to let your light shine, right? What happens will happen. That is the gift and complexity of human choice. Stop worrying about it all. Stop worrying about what can happen. Get in the ring and win the fight, right? Your marching orders, go high when they go low, as our former First Lady Michelle Obama said. Your marching orders are go high when they go low. So I'll share an example. When I was younger, I used to get called all kind of names because I was different, right? And there were possibly other underlying things there. But I used to have this one nickname someone gave me, and they called me Light Bright. Yes, I know, Light Bright. Because I had oily skin, I had a larger forehead. I have a large forehead, but see, that's wisdom and knowledge. That's my gift. That's my blessing. And it would just shine, because of my oily skin, right? And back then, I didn't wear makeup and, to kind of blot and dampen that a little bit. And it used to really affect me, and it affected my self-esteem, my self-worth, right? And, and so many other things I could share and relate to, but I want to keep us, I want to get through the rest of the message today. But once you go through that self-discovery, once you understand that people who call other people names are hurting themselves, that empowers them somehow in some warped sense and makes them feel better about themselves when they actually don't feel better about themselves. It's a momentary thing. Once you understand that and you free yourself from those cares, the people pleasing. I was a big people pleaser. Self-inflicted performance anxieties. You will be able to love the skin you're in. You will be able to own your divergent soul and love it and appreciate it and shine bright and unapologetically. So day 4, or book 4 rather, day 30. The topic is simply masks. So the thought, take off the mask. Take off the mask. The meditation. At some point, life forces us all to put on a mask. The important thing is to recognize it and rectify it. Take off the mask. Be who you are. It really is enough. And if it's not, that's not a problem for you to concern yourself with. Seek your path, and you will find it. Tune into your channel. Think divergently, connect the dots, and manage your reality. You will reach your measure of success and conquer life. Get busy, ladies and gentlemen, conquering life. Once I realized this, it was game on, right? It was game on. And again, releasing the masks, taking them off, burning them. So literally I have masks around my apartment. I actually like masks, part of my heritage, comes from Louisiana. So, I have, Mardi Gras mask, and I have, funeral mask, those sorts of things, masquerade mask. And I have them up. I have them on the wall. And the reason I have them on the wall is because I want a reminder. Besides the fact they're gorgeous, I love them. But I want a reminder. I want a reminder about the mask that I used to wear, that I took off. And I want to be completely transparent, because this year, my words are truth and transparency, this year and forward. And this is Candid Conversations with Doc V. Those masks that we wear, when you take them off, there are going to be people that don't like the fact that you took off the mask. Let them go. It's okay. Love them with that long handled spoon. There will be people who are fighting mad that you have the audacity to take off the mask, right? That you have the audacity to speak up and speak out about wearing masks, about the truth, right? About who you are. There will be forces that will try to literally fight you to put those masks back on, but don't let them. Because with those masks, you are not walking in and operating as the true you. You will not be able to define your own path, to tune into your own channel, to think divergently, much less connect the dots. And the management of your reality will be out of control. You will not be able to do it, because your soul is beckoning you. It's always beckoning you and calling you into being the true you. So what is all of this about? Why did I share this with you? It's all about subjugating your mind to destructive and debilitating thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, rooting out the seeds that have been planted, knowingly and or unknowingly. Until you do, you cannot be made whole. You will not be able to heal. You will continue to exist, right, in a state of fear, lack, poverty, and all of their accompanying cohorts, right, that mean you no good, that do not serve you. It is time for you to accept and step into the true you and define your own path. That's what today was about. So, are you ready to step into being the true you, into your renaissance? I sure hope you are. And I hope you found nuggets in this episode and begin to operate with a freedom mindset and empowerment as the divergent soul that you are. We are going to continue to explore this concept over the next few weeks in different ways. So think about how it applies to your life. Think about the thoughts, the meditations, reflect. Go through the revelation, the reconciliation, and the renaissance process for each as it applies to you in your life, your future plans, your desires. And be sure to check out our Defining Paths community on Facebook. So you can join our Next Steps for Women community, our Defining Paths community, if you're an entrepreneur seeking training, just support, safe haven, truth and transparency within that. And the pivotmaestro.com /DP membership. If you want to just delve deeper, come and be a part of our membership, because we have exciting things that are about to happen. And we want you to be a part of it. You can find more information on our virtual homepage, definingpaths.online. Join us next week. And until then, what is our mantra? Ladies, strong is the new sexy. It is. So be strong in mind, body, and soul. Define your path and love the skin you're in. I'm Doc V, the Pivot Maestro, and always your corner woman. I am my sister's keeper, and I'll see you next week.